Every minute of every day, energy powers our lives. We often use it without thinking. Most of us depend on energy to light our homes, travel to work, and stay connected. Today, fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, provide 80% of the world's energy. Burning them releases CO2. Science tells us CO2 is warming our planet, changing our climate. In the next 40 years, our planet's population could reach 9 billion. That's 2 billion people more than today. More people will need access to energy. This is likely to double energy demand between 2000 and 2050. The world will need to draw on all forms of energy, including renewable sources such as solar and wind. Changing the energy mix takes time, and fossil fuels will still meet most of the world's energy needs for decades to come. But we can start to reduce emissions today. A technology called carbon capture and storage, or CCS, has the potential to bring about significant reduction in CO2 emissions. Large-scale projects must be started now to realize the potential of CCS. CCS uses a combination of tried and tested technologies that have been widely used in the oil and gas industry for decades. It captures CO2 from large industrial facilities, such as power stations, cement factories, refineries, and chemical plants, before it enters the atmosphere, and pipelines it to a suitable location where it is then stored deep underground. Underground storage sites are carefully selected for their suitability to permanently store CO2. These include depleted gas and oil fields and underground formations of porous rock containing salty water. Once a suitable site is selected, liquid CO2 is injected into the storage formation at depths of between 1 and 5 kilometers beneath the surface. The CO2 then becomes trapped in tiny pores within the rock. Natural processes lock the CO2 into place, making it even more secure over time. The multiple layers of impermeable rock above the storage reservoir provide effective barriers that keep the CO2 permanently contained. These types of natural geological seals have kept oil and gas underground for millions of years. Sophisticated monitoring technologies confirm the CO2 is contained. According to the International Energy Agency, CCS is the only technology available to mitigate emissions from continued large-scale use of fossil fuels. It could account for as much as 1/5 of all the CO2 emissions reduction needed to avert serious climate change by 2050. Shell's Quest CCS project near Edmonton, Alberta, is one of a handful of large-scale CCS projects in operation around the world. These help demonstrate the viability of this technology to combat climate change. And the knowledge that Quest provides represents a small but important step in the journey toward a lower carbon future for us all.